Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Green Lanterns Podcast. I'm your host, Will Smith of Sector 2814, and on today's episode, it's a continuation from yesterday. This episode will have spoilers, potentially, for Season 1, Episode 2 of HBO's Lanterns. If you missed the plot leaks from Episode 1, please back out of this video, click the channel, go find the Episode 1 video. As always, if you are somebody who doesn't actually want to watch this video, that is completely fine. You can pause it and you can just go to the description of the video, and just maybe 10 minutes after this goes live, the description will be edited with the actual text from the leak, directly from the leaker, not my interpretation of it. It'll all be there. If you are seeing this video on Reddit, click the thread, open it up, and just scroll to what should be probably the top comment. And it'll be my comment with the same thing. It'll be the entire notes from this text, so you don't have to watch the video if you don't want to. If you do want to watch the video and also not harass me randomly on Reddit for not sharing everything all at once, I appreciate you. I just want to say that, put that out there. It's very much appreciated. Thank you. And with that being said, if you would like to avoid potential spoilers for Episode 2, now is the time to click away. Episode 2. With Hal's help, John and Sheriff Kerrie detain the alien suspects at the local police station. Hal recognizes them as the Horminth Collective, an amorphous flesh blob that can split into multiple shape-shifting bodies. He falls back into his old ways as the Green Lantern, advising John and Kane to detain the subjects on the moon until they can be transferred to Oa. The Collective begs for them to have a terrestrial containment on Earth, and John and Kerrie get suckered and allow it. Angered by what he sees as lax treatment of a dangerous criminal, Hal relinquishes the ring to John and prepares to leave town again. John goes back to investigating, searching the ranch, and he finds the strange energy signature once again. It leads him to Alan Scott's depowered lantern ring, discarded in a field, but the stolen lantern remains missing. John goes back and interrogates the Horminth Collective, which insists it had nothing to do with Alan Scott's murder, but refuses to reveal why it is on Earth. Because of the advice Hal Jordan provided being ignored, the Collective escapes captivity and John fails to stop them. Sheriff Kerrie proposes that he asks Hal for assistance due to the former Green Lantern's experience, but John is too proud to accept help. Because he's too proud, Kerrie goes to find Hal on his behalf, stopping him at a bus station at the last second on the edge of town. They discuss what happened to Hal's life, and he reveals little while implying that he's made a lot of decisions that he regrets. He decides reluctantly to stay and help John, but only because Kerrie was the one to ask him to. At this point, they do get a little flirty, but they stop short of reigniting any old flame between them due to Sheriff Kerrie's current marriage and family. John, meanwhile, is angry at himself for screwing up twice now. We get some insight into his motivations through flash cuts of the past. He's a war veteran and a former Marine with some obvious emotional trauma weighing on him. He hunts down and captures a part of the Horminth Collective and notifies the sheriff that he's done so. Once again, however, he's ambushed by Collective drones from amongst a crowd of onlookers. John is hesitant to use the ring because he can't tell which of the bystanders are innocent humans and which are the Horminth shapeshifters. Sheriff Kerrie and Hal Jordan arrive to help, and there's an action scene that mirrors a real-life riot in the downtown area of Hope Springs. Hal finally meets up with John in the middle of the brawl and coaches the younger Green Lantern on how to recognize the Horminth. With Hal's guidance, John drops the entire Collective with one punch to the creature's brain, which is disguised as a small child. That's where the riot ends. Without waiting to detain the Horminth again, it's Hal who begins to brutally interrogate the creature in the middle of the street. John is perturbed by what is essentially torture, but Hal gets the Horminth to finally admit why it is on Earth. It was hired by the Black Hand to recover and traffic an item called the Star Heart, and it tells them where they can find it. After Hal Jordan finishes the interrogation, he tells John to throw the Horminth to the moon. John can't bring himself to condemn the creature to misery, so he hands his ring over to Hal. Hal launches the creature into space in a sphere of green light, and then cavalierly hands the ring back to John. John is unsettled by the ease at which Hal is able to inflict pain on another creature. And that is where episode 2 ends. So for my own personal takes, I think episode 2 sounds like a much better episode than episode 1, as it should be. I like that we do get some answers to why the aliens are around and what they're looking for. What hypes me up from this episode text is the mentions of the Starheart, the mention of Oa, and the mention of the Black Hand, which could all be pretty epic things that we get to see play out on television in this Lantern show. So all of those are exciting. In terms of things from this that I don't like, as I quickly reread through this, to me, Hal and Carol are meant to be together. So the fact that he's flirting with a woman that he knows is married and has children isn't like the greatest representation to me of Hal Jordan. But everything else in here, it does sound cool. Him being the more like stern, take care of business Lantern, but also like even in the beginning where it talks about he's explaining to Kerrie Kane, the sheriff, that he's got a lot of regrets in life. And it makes me wonder if at this point in the universe, if Hal has already been Parallax, which then leads to him doing a bunch of terrible things. Is it a reach? Probably. It's also only episode 2. But again, for me personally, this episode text has me more hyped than what the first episode was. Again, I'll wait until after episode 8 to tell you how much of this I think is legit and how much of this I think is just rubbish. I think it's fun to speculate, which is what a lot of people have said in the comments as well. It's fun to speculate when I talk to other people about this on Reddit. I agree. And so far, it's been fun. Hopefully it'll continue to be fun. Let's see where this goes. Let me know what you guys think about these plot leaks in the comments below, and I'll post episode 3 tomorrow. Peace.